Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms, where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping, make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House, where the Romans go. Dura Products, who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Fay for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house, contact Jimmy Fay. He's got your stuff. The B-Dry System. Your basement's wet? Get a hold of B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, your local representative. George Kaler, Sales and Service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family.
Hello, Yeti Nation, and yeah, how about them Firewolves, Josh? You ain't kidding.
How about them Firewolves? What's up, Greg Beecher? What up, Yeti Nation? How is everyone? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Hip's a little sore, but I tell you, I watched a lot of excellent lacrosse games today. I went through the Firewolves game, got that all clipped up, saw it live, and there's so much stuff you miss when you're live. Like, you feel the atmosphere, and it's excellent to be there, but you really do miss. It's so fast, you miss a lot of the off-ball action, I'll say.
Oh, yeah. As far as very similar to the game down in Albany.
Yeah.
That game was, as far as Buffalo was trying to be the enforcer, the ground and pound and beat the living tar out of you, and Albany just kept on going and kept on going and kept on. What a great game to watch. Awesome game to watch.
Yeah, Albany.
I was pumped.
Albany's offense is so much smaller than Buffalo's defense. You really see it live. It doesn't show as much on the TV as you notice it live. Like that Grennan, he is an absolute animal. That kid is all over it. He's one of those players, if he's on your team, you're like, oh, I love the hustle, I love the heart. But if he's playing against you, you're like, oh, that little peckerhead. He's
well, Simmons, the beating that poor kid, dude. Off ball, I was watching him. I like watching off ball and everything, but what he was going through in the off ball play, why the other guys were making some incredible moves and everything. Kurtz, what a fabulous game, but it was he took a beating. There's no question he was in the ice bath afterwards.
Oh, everybody on that offensive squad was. They were all over those guys. They're a big physical team, and they tried to. I feel like they tried to intimidate Albany, and it did not work out very well for them.
How about the captain though? Number 17,
Watkinson.
When shit went down, you want to know what? He stepped up and he said, "Not this time. Those are my boys." He just thumped that guy. Was just thumping, and then he's like, "Enough of you. Get away."
Yeah, he's an absolute. He's the kind of guy you want to be the captain on your team, though. He doesn't take stupid penalties, but if something needs to be addressed, he's going to address it.
Yeah, and the defense played a great game as well. They forced so many non-shots on goal. The second half, Buffalo couldn't buy a shot on goal. That's
No, I've got clips, and you'll see. Yeah, we'll get into that while we're waiting for Bobo. We got our mystery guest, Bob Leary, should be joining us. He had practice, so I'm not too surprised he's a little late. Got us up here again. We got our Brand Y
just Brand Y.
Brand Y Distillery. Check him out. We got him hooked up in the description. But anyways, yeah, we'll get started with this game. And it started out, and I tell you, Buffalo came out to a pretty quick lead. And I thought for sure, I was like, oh boy, it's going to be a long night for Albany.
Dougie's rattled at first, but.
Well, it wasn't just that, but they're getting the resets, they're getting the shot clocks. Their offense really was moving the ball pretty well, and anytime you go from one side to the other, it's hard for your goalie. And you see there, and now it's 2-0. But What Ethan Walker? Wow.
Stud. They're
Yeah.
all studs. That Albany team has got nothing but a bunch of young studs, and Coach Clark's doing a great job letting them be studs. Let the boys run, man. That was one thing with this game. It was an up and down battle. I mean, a shot going one way, a shot going the other way, back and forth. And a huge thing, Buffalo didn't have the man in goal that normally is in there. That when's the last time he missed? They said what?
2006.
2006. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long run.
Yeah, little Can-Am rivalry going on there. Belter, the Tuscarora Tomahawks. He is such a big young man. When you see him and when you stand next to him, he is a monster. And Sturos plays for Allegheny, and he gets everybody so mad. Look at him just taking stupid penalties, just cross-checking him in the back. Sturos agitates people better than anybody else, and he draws more penalties. You could see Tavares is mad. He was very disappointed
Animated.
in the way the Bandits played, I'll say as well. He was not a big fan of it. It was indigenous. Oh, here's Bob Leary. But yeah, it was Native American Heritage Night. All right, so we got to do that. While we're doing that, we're going to flip back to this screen. Oh, wait, where'd he go? He's not there anymore.
Oh, I was there?
You were there. Now there's no video.
There's a picture.
Now we at least got a picture.
Want that. I'm looking for the camera. How do I get that camera on?
There's usually a picture of the camera is what you'll see, essentially.
I did see it.
Yeah, and if you hit that usually works good. It's black now.
Yeah, see, you know what? I wonder if this is on. Let me see if this thing is on. I don't think it's on.
No, it doesn't seem like it is anyways. But anyways, we'll get Bobo out of there. Yeah, what a game. And Matt Vince hadn't played, but it was Native American Heritage Night. Bomberry actually dropped the face-off. You'll see him in a minute there.
I was surprised on that they didn't have the official there.
Herbie John?
Herbie John involved with that.
Yeah, I don't know. They did call it. They did bring to everybody's attention that we had Herbie John, and that was cool. But yeah, no, they definitely could have done that, and they did not.
An official. I was like, why isn't Herbie John? That was pretty cool. I mean, it was a very good display. Awesome gestures. The Bandits jerseys are sick.
Yeah,
those are some pretty badass jerseys.
Good grief.
Yeah. Oh man, so we had the picture again for a second, and then he was gone. He'll get it figured out. I'm confident eventually he will get this figured out. I don't know how confident I should be in it, but we'll just leave the little Bobo black square there as he's figuring out the camera. And if we have to go without the video, I mean, I guess we could do without Bob's face. I think he's told me before he's been told he has a face for the radio, so hopefully
I do have a face for radio. There's no question about that.
Is it a lens cover? Is there a lens cover on the camera or a flip switch or something?
I wonder if there is such a thing as a lens cover on this thing.
Because it's like.
Yeah,
pitch black.
It's pitch black. But anyway, so Simmons here, and this is something that Brian brought up, is how fast when he's twirling that stick and he does those fakes, it's unbelievably fast. But Ty Kurtz,
one touch.
Yeah.
Boom.
And look at the shot afterwards that he takes for it. Priolo's just runs in. And they try to bully you. They tried to do the bullies of Buffalo.
All game long. No question. They took a beat in the offense, but they kept on running through it. It was great stuff. Moving the ball around. What a great shot right there. Just a catch and flick.
Yeah, what a goal, though. I mean, that underhand goal is just gorgeous.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would hope that got onto some sort of highlight reel for ESPN.
Yeah, it could have been. And I tell you, without Kurtz, though, oh, boy, this could have been a rough night.
Well, what a great their man up. The first half man up is what really saved them because, if they have their normal man up, they're 0 for 4. And
which they were in the second half.
Which they were in the second half. But when you got the lead and they played like veterans is what they did. They didn't take the stupid penalties. They went 1 for 1, 5 minute concept. So the officials kept that kind of melee to equal.
Yeah, well, they did
justice.
give them the power play when Sturos got the whole team agitated and they tried to jump him.
Right.
There
Well,
was
when you're only giving up an essential, they only gave up technically one power play, right?
yeah, I love Josh's comment. You know the team is awful on the special teams essentially when Albany scores 4 goals on your on your power play. But yeah, here you see Josh
Throwing it
Byrne.
in there.
He is electric. He was on fire. This was the points lead at the beginning of the game. It changed by the end of it, of course. But Ian McKay, he's Jobson, big fan of him. Hopefully, me and Jobson are going to hook up tomorrow to go through this game with a little more detail. But the that was there for Buffalo. McKay, they had the transition a couple times, but I tell you, Albany's defense, I think, stepped up and played really good. I think
They played incredible, solid defense. Like I said, 20, number 17 coach there, their transition was up and down the field. They were up and down the field.
Yeah. See, and there's Grennan getting everybody all fired up like he does. You could see everybody wants to beat that guy up.
Some great ball movement.
Yeah. And there actually, you see Kurtz runs into the brick wall that is Zach Belter. He just, boom, he gets put. So they call the push from behind on Buffalo. Thankfully, Kurtz gets up and he's feeling okay because he had what, 3 more goals or 5 more goals after this, I believe.
The old sock trick, huh?
Yeah. He ended up with 7. But yeah, so they gave the push in the back. And this is, as we were just talking about, when Albany's power play was feeling it.
Yeah, they were banging the ball. That behind the back pass, the no look. What a great play.
Yeah, and how fast was that out of his stick?
It wasn't even really in it.
No. And you see them, they're so far over there. It's so hard for the penalty kill. It's hard enough for the defense because if they get out there, it really abandons the slide. You can't get it, you can't slide back into the middle if Paulus or somebody gets inside. But a beautiful.
Can you go back to 2 more frames back if you can real quick, where the goalie is one more. Nope. Anyhow, I was going to say you could barely see from when he was making the pass to before he received. The goalie was there, but there was just enough room. His corner
right there, yeah,
right on his hip.
But you see the net actually shoots out as soon as he gets it over there. Yeah, he puts it in a perfect spot. He's not a very big goalie.
Here it is, right there.
Yeah,
go 1 frame back, and you can see right on his hip where the right
there, little hole.
Little hole. He's holding the pipe right there, and
yeah,
how do you get it through?
Underneath?
Just that's how good they are, man. That's how good they are. They're great shooters and very good goalies.
Yeah, no, Sam Firth looked pretty good this year. Oh, wait, now we've got it's official.
Finally!
We're here. We've got him turned on. It's legit. We have the one and only Robert Leary, Herkimer General's coach. What's going on, Bob?
Having a drink of just so I could. My voice has to be like rich, like maple syrup. So
Gotcha.
Nutrients. How you guys doing? Great to be on. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for joining us. So you just got done with practice, right?
Yeah.
How's the team looking?
Well, hopefully we're looking pretty good. I mean, the season's upon us,
Yeah. You guys. I see you had a case of the flu. Everybody healed up.
Oh man, it actually was a stomach bug. It's called a neurovirus. Are you guys familiar with this thing? It's going to the Northeast. It's crazy.
I had it a few weeks ago, but Charity told me it was just because I drank too much whiskey. I don't know if she was right, but could have been.
That's why you go down to Brand Y. Sorry, Bob's of age, but you go to Brand Y and you get some vodka. It's better for you.
Less hangover, huh?
Exactly.
Yep. Travis Longboat, though, he's been awesome this year. Another one of those pieces. And he doesn't have the most points necessarily, but he's a guy that he's always moving off ball. He gets a lot of the loose balls. And Dougie, just a big save here. Gets just enough of his arm to kind of flip it off to the side.
Where were your seats, Greg?
We were sitting like 4 rows back from the Bandits bench.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were.
I saw you went with Nate, huh?
Went with Nate and Brian McVaugh.
Dude, how great is it to go to Buffalo? It's such a great experience.
I love it there. They do a show better than anybody else. It's not even really a question. I don't think anybody else compares. There's Zach Belter. He was the Tusky Tomahawk. He was a first-round draft pick a couple years ago, but he's had some injury issues. He looked pretty good out there in his first ever NLL game. But how about this one? I love this. You see the goalie never looks. He's still, the ball's in the net right now, and he's looking at Paulus. He just all of a sudden realized, oh, crap.
Paulus the longboat, right?
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet
That
goal.
was a sweet goal.
That was a beauty.
Yeah, the only thing that it could have done is the defenseman could have stepped out on the player's hands to try and deflect it. Goalie was burned.
Yeah, at that point. And this one, Byrne might want that back. Or, I'm sorry, Dougie might want that one back. But Byrne coming all the way down from, that's where you have the best angle. And he threw that little, I'm going to pass it over and just kind of stuck him on the side. And that's all it took.
Got the hitch. Yep.
But Albany did a good job here getting those offensive rebounds. Here's another one.
Hot.
Well, and that was one thing that their defense did pretty good. You'll notice they did they just cleared it better. I'm telling you, Albany, I don't even know if they played their best game as much as I think Buffalo lost this. A couple times here during this game, I felt like Buffalo was going to come back and win. Especially
They could have.
Yeah, especially after Danicoke scored in the fourth.
Yeah, that was a great goal too.
Yeah. And it just the atmosphere there kind of felt like, oh man, we're in for it here.
The run was on. They stopped the run. They kept it going. It was good stuff.
How about
it
this
was a
one
great
though?
Game.
Dougie dives, he all the way past him out of the net, and then he's like, "Whoops!" And this, I don't understand why Tchaikovsky though. I mean, I get why he tried to play goalie, but he doesn't even attempt to hit this guy's stick. As the stick comes out, like right here, the guy's got one hand on the stick. You knock the head of that stick down, he can't dunk it around. But they do this all the time. They just try to play goalie, and he reached beautiful play though. I mean, how he reached it around him like that was gorgeous.
And keep his feet from touching.
Yeah. No,
Absolutely.
That is huge. And then here goes Grennan again. I don't know. He probably asked him what he wanted for dinner, would be my guess. And they were like, hey, we're in Buffalo. We eat chicken wings here, bud. You know that.
With blue cheese.
Yes. With blue cheese.
Right.
Blue
No
cheese.
ranch.
There's no ranch. That's Albany. You're in Buffalo.
And this is when Watkinson came down. He had enough. But yeah, you see Grennan, they got his helmet off. They really wanted to beat Grennan up. And Watkinson, what a fight this was, though. I mean, he just pummeled this kid.
Pounded him. Yeah, he piss pounded him. Say the way it should be said.
Yeah, he did, but I mean, he shows a lot of restraint here. He knows he's got that kid down, and he could have.
He did it. He could have went. And you want that sad? That's the sportsman still in the fight concept.
Yeah.
They walk around. You're done. I got you. Next, give us 5.
Yeah.
We'll go sit.
And that's Jokum 33 for Albany. He's another one of those players. He's been amazing since he came on defense. They, they don't get a lot of credit because they don't make all these highlight reels all the time. But Albany's defense did play pretty good. But you see a lapse there, and Ardell is like, how this shot from Buchanan, though, he's on his offside, and it's a quick stick. He catches it. Somehow Dane Smith throws it like right in front of his face. You're going to see here. And boom, it's in the net. That catch and release, all one motion on the offside. That's impressive. So he has to catch it from in front of him, gets it back, and shoots it without,
That's playing with each other for all these years.
That's crazy.
The practice, the talent level. You get a Brandon Davis and Neil Paulus, and those guys working the ball the way they do know how to work the ball. Some impressive stuff.
Yeah. No, but Buffalo needs a face-off guy. When you talk to all the fans out there, they all say it. They're like, I know everybody, they obviously don't think face-offs are important, which I don't think is true. I'm sure Buffalo thinks they're important, and they're probably trying everything that they think is possible to, to try to win. But yeah, they got destroyed, especially against Withers the week before. They definitely had a better showing against Nardella this week, but I mean,
he did a good job, though. Nardella did a great job.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he still, and by better, I mean they won 2. It wasn't like they did way better. Right. Yeah, they won 2. One of them did result in a goal, though. It was a really nice make it take it for McKay. But I don't know if it makes up for the other 25 that he lost, because it was 25 out of 27 was Nardella on the night.
He was, and then he gets out there and plays spectacular defense.
Yeah.
He played a great game in defense.
Look at that play right there where he gets the ball and, they throw it into the space where they know it's not necessarily the best pass, but somebody on their team's going to come up with it. And I tell you, Shanahan, for his first NLL game, I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, he did a
Very
good
good.
job.
Yeah. I mean, he had his moments, but yeah, they beat the crap out of that Albany offense. You could see like so
did.
many plays, they're just barely getting up and like, ugh. And look, I mean, they just constantly here. Belter's riding him. He's like 6'5". He's got to be like 225, 230. Solid guy, yeah. And he's riding Grennan, who's like my size, and he looks like he's sitting on him like a bull at the end there.
Albany got the ball back. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, but this play right here, I mean, Buffalo. He shot it right off the back wall. They shot themselves in the foot on offense. I guarantee you they missed and hit the post on at least 20 shots. I don't know what the official numbers are, but I bet you it's got to be close to it. It was bad for their shots off goal. They missed a lot of, and they hit a few pipes, but more than that, they really missed the net on a bunch of key moments. See, there's Shanahan right there with a beautiful save. Somehow, like he baits him into that corner, and he puts it up there, and he just keeps that shoulder nice and high, and it rolls out of it. Yeah, Dougie
Dane Smith had 11 shots, 0 for 11.
Yeah. And look at how Sturos gets everybody pissed off. Everybody wants to beat him up too. Always. I don't know what he says out there, but he must have some amazing smack talk.
Well, there's no question. He's one of those little chihuahuas that get you in your skin and you're just like, get away.
Yeah.
Get away, little dog. And then
Oh,
little dog scores a biscuit.
Yeah. Look, I mean, this dunk right here, though. Oh, my goodness. He does a fabulous job drawing in everybody, though. I mean, this is Travis Longboat. As soon as he gets the step and he gets around Belter, you see the other defense start sliding, and he waits and just feeds it to him, and he dunks it in there before the goalie even starts to really step over there. Kurtz has got it in the net.
That was sweet.
Yeah.
That was sweet.
Gorgeous dunk. And this one.
Nice, quick.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Shanahan, I think Buffalo's defense is a bigger problem that's been hidden by Matt Vince.
I could give you that, yeah.
Yeah,
well, they're getting older.
Well, they're getting older.
Again, how much? The tread's got to be getting thin on those tires.
Oh, yeah. No, this is what I
Well,
mean.
you can see it. You know what? They're statistically they tend to have a really bad third quarter, don't they? Like
Yes.
they score a lot later in the game. I think they get tired.
Yeah.
They outscored.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Right.
Getting up, and especially in this game, it was up and down the field. Going by the first half, what was it, 8-7 at halftime?
Yeah.
You thought it was going to be a back and forth, 20-21 kind of game, and then all of a sudden the second half, it was like, whoa.
Third quarter scoreless. I think this was a goal. So you see, they called it a no goal on the field, but I slowed it down pretty good. You see his foot is clearly outside the crease. There's like 2 inches there. And maybe his foot touched down on the far side and I didn't see it. Because the first time I watched that highlight, I was like, there's no way that was a crease call. You missed that one, but that's all right. They did end up needing it. Fortunately for them, anyways. But that right there, Dougie coming up. The Colton Watkinson showing that bottom, when you talk about guys with these big slashes, that never works. How do you teach a guy to approach somebody on defense? You got to get under that bottom hand, right? And you're trying to lift it up when he goes to shoot and mess it up. And you see that's exactly what Colton Watkinson's doing there. He doesn't really drive Nanakoke out of the way. You can't. Nanakoke's he's a big dude anyways. But just gets under his hands enough so that way when he takes the shot, it barely rolls to Dougie. The defense for Albany, I think they played pretty good, but honestly, I think Buffalo's defense, you see the chinks in the armor without having Vince back there to kind of hide things.
And it definitely, again, you got to get the ball on net.
Yeah, bunch of them missing. That was a beautiful little back check there. But then like that right there. So now, perfect transition play. Instead, you turn it over. Albany comes down. They get to kill more time off the clock. They get the reset. Getting those extra possessions, they add up quick. Especially Albany, they usually play a very long offensive set. They'll wind the shot clock down. But here, Grennan gets, quick stick on that one, beats him. There's not much he's going to do there. He just, Simmons throws it over, and you know the goalie's stepping out because Simmons has been shooting from outside, and he's a pretty good, But yeah, so he what did he end up with? He had a shutout. Dougie Jameson had a shutout for what was it, 20 minutes almost. So they didn't score until 6:29 in the third quarter. So almost 20 minutes of play. And
11-8.
Yeah, that's huge right there. Dane Smith on a breakaway misses the net. It's like, what are you guys doing? And I know it's shorthanded, so he's coming back. You think he'd be able to get it, but that was a big move there. They did get the ball back and at least save the possession for him. And there's
that
the
one possession.
Goal.
Man down, Nanitok took it for 30 seconds and just wasn't that. I think he scored a goal on it too earlier in the game. Where was but they were playing man down and he got the shot off, but it wasn't. Anyhow, Nanitok is a beast.
Yeah, he's a monster. How about this save from Dougie? Boom, it hits the post, but then just by spinning like that, knowing, playing so long, he spins all the time as he goes down because of that. But if you watch him, he always lays one leg down basically across the goal line as a seal, and he spins around and it just bounces the ball out enough, and then Albany does a good job getting that rebound to stop it. But I could not figure out the spin at first, but the more I watch him, it makes, I'm understanding more and more why he does it. But you see some goalies do that sit still, where as soon as they get it, they just sit still. He doesn't sit still very often. He turns, he twists always to the outside of the.
Great ripper.
Yeah, no, this was the turning point of the game. They gave it to Kurtz, and you got to say, he was on fire.
He was on fire.
So what did he end up with? 7 goals?
7 goals and 6 goals.
Yeah.
6 goals, and he only had 1 assist.
Yeah. In the second half, he had 3 goals, and Buffalo had 1.
Yeah.
They just showed that stat. And then, but Albany did a great job killing the clock, getting down there, frustrating them. And I don't know. They missed the net more than I think. I felt like when Nanico scores here in a couple of seconds, you're going to see it. Like the whole atmosphere felt like Buffalo was going to come back and win.
They had a little run going, and right there.
Yeah, that was Kluche's first one. And when Kluche scored, I mean, it kind of felt like, maybe they can. But then 30 seconds, later, when Nanico scores, and you're sitting there going, oh, boy, boys, come on. You can't, you can't let it go this way. They did so good keeping the game close, and their defense played so good. But they, and honestly, the defense saved them. They didn't really get any good shots on Dougie towards the end of the game. They took a couple outside rips, and then that was pretty much the end of them. But right there, when Nanico scored, I was like, oh boy, here comes Buffalo. Game over. Thanks, guys. But no, they didn't. Look at Firth there, gets the reset. So now by the time Buffalo gets down into the offensive zone, they've only got a minute left. I mean, yeah, granted, it was a big interception there from Dane Smith. And then, oh, yeah.
Jameson wasn't fooled at all. He sucked that right in.
Yeah, he knew exactly where he was going. And this, Nanico gets furious. His helmet comes off. But, yeah, that was their best shot they had for the rest of the game. But Albany does a good job making sure they can't just take the rebound. They do get the ball back. But, again, you'll see here, they get just enough of it on the bottom hand that they miss the net. Albany, this is what I mean. Albany kept trying to give Buffalo a chance to win, though. They kept turning the ball over, giving it back to Buffalo's offense in the zone, and it just, Dougie, and this was the dagger moment, though. This is when the rest of the fans got up and left the building.
The box got up. X first.
Yeah. They had about enough of that. They were good. They were like, you know what, we've seen enough. Some of them started leaving earlier than that. I was pretty surprised actually. I was like, oh boy, you guys are pretty fair weather Buffalo fans for how rocking they get that house. They were all gone quick.
It definitely it fills up quickly though too. You know, you got a line of thousands of people waiting at the door for them doors to open up, and then it's a melee in. What a great place!
Yeah,
Great game.
It's a crazy party. Oh yeah, so they had the watch party. Josh goes to. That's what are they doing? Recovery, I think, down there. But yeah,
They had a pretty good crowd there from the pictures that I had seen. Polly Walnuts put it up there.
He went to Buffalo, I think.
I thought I seen something with him.
Maybe he was at the watch party, but I thought he went to Buffalo.
Maybe he did. I know the wolf was at the
he's
at the party.
at the Recovery Sports Grill. All right, so Bob, we had a couple. You had a couple guys who played some box lacrosse this year. What have you heard? Because for a lot of those guys, it was their first year. Would you have 3 kids that played?
My team?
Yeah, that have gone to some of the open floor nights.
Oh, I did certainly have had more than 3, definitely. I mean, we got a bunch actually. A lot of our guys have gone to open floor, and we had one boy play with the Northmen when they went out to Buffalo, and it was like a Christmas tournament, so that kind of thing. So he went and played for Kyle Baker, and that was a great experience for him. And you know, we've had a couple guys play for Neil and in the Lax Day and stuff, and our guys have been they don't come back worse from playing box lacrosse. You know, anytime the pickup with the Yeti have been great, and the Tri-City stuff, all that stuff has been beneficial to our entire team.
Well, and you go out with a guy like Kyle Baker, and you look how he played for Team USA at Laxnigh, though. I mean, he was on fire out there. I mean, that's a tough team to crack, but I tell you, he looked really good in Laxnigh. You'd be hard pressed to really take him off the team, you know. But
well, I tell you what, I mean, he has contacted us for Laxnigh. He's contacted us for that tournament, and I always try to make sure I can deliver somebody who is going to be appreciative of the experience, and also, you know, I mean, it's a win-win-win. I mean, it's really nice that of all places he could call, he's calling Herkimer, and you know, it's not lost on me. We really appreciate that from, you know, guys like him, and geez, I mean, there's so many. The box world has been great to us, and we're big fans. I mean, it's great, and you know, we're appreciative naturally of what you and Paul do. I mean, you know, it's humbling to be part of this community and the growth of the game and everything. I don't know if you guys got a chance, but if you haven't, definitely look for it. Australia had their box championships, and that was streamed. I happened to catch it live from the Australian Lacrosse Network. It's on YouTube, and you got to check it out. The announcers are a rip, and those guys were the announcers the last time I took a team down there. The announcers are a rip, and you want to talk neck, bodies hitting the floor. Oh goodness. I'm going, oh goodness.
I got to make an announcement, Bobby, with you saying what you just said there with the announcing and everything. Last night we had our youth over at the Nexus, and we were able to. Coach Hutch was there, and he confirmed that he will be back in the booth with you this year.
Awesome.
Streaming that when we stream the games. He's been doing some more rehab. It didn't go as planned, so. He's going to continue the rehab, and he's going to join the L man in the booth.
Well, he's the brains of the operation. He's from RPI, you know. So, you know, I'm going to have to get a thesaurus or something because he speaks over the 3-syllable Herkimer limit sometimes. You know.
You know, some of the things though. You know, when the bus left and the bus was on time, that was some quality comments. There's no question.
Yeah, no, that was great. I tell you, I was going through the clips there because I just sent you all the story mode where I changed the view to make them like that, and I saw, or not saw, I was listening to Hutch and Bob, and it's so hard to cut them out sometimes when you're trying to make like, I was making basically a highlight reel of all the stuff we do, and I was like, oh man, it was, yeah, the one-liners that he comes out with up there, and then all of a sudden you just hear, yeah, that's the RPI education for you. It was there.
And there's so much more coming this year. I'm very excited in regards to. I don't know how much I can say in regards to what I want to say, but I'm not. The opportunity for Bob and for and Hutch and Greg and the Yeti are with the Worlds coming this year. It's incredible. I'm in the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot of more announcements. So very excited to get the, I'm getting all fuzzy.
Keep your eyes open. Yeah, you get excited. I don't know. You messed up the light a little bit somehow, but
I don't know what
that's
I did.
all right. I clipped most of you out.
Well, what it is I got the beads I'm wearing, and all of a sudden it must be the reflection. As far as Pam Snow has all the information. Definitely talk to Pam. Her niece is the incredible beadswoman who does some artwork. Beads person. She does incredible artwork. So if I had the name, I'd throw the name out there, and Pam sent it to me, but I'm not even going to try to because
don't want to butcher it.
I don't want to butcher it.
I wonder what night, Josh, is your game at the in Rochester? I'm wondering because the Bats play there.
Is that they play back to back up in Rochester and then back in Albany?
That's what I wanted to see. Is it the night that they're playing? April 6th. No, I think they're home because that's the same weekend as the he's host that tournament's supposed to be.
Right. Well, speaking of the tournament, Ron's the Onondaga tournament got moved to the 12th through the 14th. So Yeti will be down in Onondaga on that tournament. Very excited about that. And tryouts start the 10th. People have been asking, well, the 10th and the 17th. Guess what? They start the 10th. If you can make the 10th, be there. If you can make the 17th, be there at both. We're looking for the best players. There's opportunities right now that it's happening in Utica that we need the best 30 players in the area. I say area because I want the 30 best players in this area. We want 40 guys on the roster so that we have a practice squad. We got some great sponsors coming through that have, Family Landscaping. Want to say thank you to Russ and Family Landscape. Be Dry. Can't say enough about Be Dry. Fay Farms, Tagray. As far as Brand Y, Norris Candy, Nice Scoba, Eric Kiefer, LUTCF, and Bobby Dix, Clinton Tractor. And the list is going on where I'm meeting more people. Right now, the Utica Club Lounge. OMG, Bob, you don't understand what opportunities. I got ideas, dude, for a home neutral of I can't say out loud because then I might be infringing until I have it, but we're allowed to do some things. So Utica, we're definitely going to be utilizing some colors and for our neutral jersey at some point. I'm excited. Good stuff. Good stuff is going on. I'm looking forward to getting up to watching some Herkimer games. Springtime is
springtime's rolling.
Time.
What's the next Herkimer game?
Well, we have a scrimmage Wednesday at SUNY Poly, so that's that's good, and we're going over to see Miz and Chris Ryan and their team, and then after that Sunday Essex comes to town. So we got they might be preseason number 2 or 3, I don't know, 4. They're top 5 for sure, and that's going to be a good test for an opener. So we open with those guys at home. It's 3:00 on Sunday, and actually there's a regional basketball championships that day too. So there's a lot going on. They're at noon, and we play at 3 with our opener. And then Wednesday, we're going on Onondaga to see the Lasers. So, after that, the following Saturday, the 9th, we have Anne Arundel. And after that, we leave right after that game and go to Chicago for our Midwest trip. We're playing against the College of DuPage, which will be the first junior college game in the Midwest, that far west. So that's an honor. We're playing at College of DuPage, which is the other side of Chicago, between Chicago and Milwaukee. And then we're going to Clark University in Iowa. And then we roll back and we're going to be playing my legendary assistant Coach Lowe and his team at Lourdes University in Ohio. And so then we'll be back in time for the St. Patrick's Day parade, we hope, and St. Patrick's Day. So great trip,
Yeah, absolutely. And then, wow, that's quite the trip. So you do a ton of fundraising and stuff for that, but how does all that come together? Is it just years of connections you've made from playing, or, run us through? That's a lot. That doesn't just happen.
Well, I tell you what, I left a few things out that are big, actually. We start the trip. We go to Chicago the night before we play DuPage, and we're going to the Blackhawks against the Coyotes, and we're going to get to skate on their ice. They're feeding us a buffet, and we're going to be able to be in their locker room. Then we go about a block and a half to get to the game, and we watch the Coyotes and the Blackhawks. So, really generous deal that the Chicago Blackhawks made with us. And then after that, when we go play Clark, and they've got 3 of our guys there. So that's an NAIA school. And then after we get done with Clark, we're going to Notre Dame. And with any luck, I've worked there for 20 some odd years at their camps and stuff. So I'm pretty close to the coaching staff there. So Kevin Corrigan, I think, is going to let us view their practice and speak to our team a little bit about their experience. And I know Paul's been out to Notre Dame with me. It's a pretty special place.
I stopped on the way back from Nationals last year when we went out to Chicago. I can't sit in the car for very long, so we drove there, stopped, got out, and walked around. That's an amazing facility. If you've never been to Notre Dame, and like Owen said, I want to go to Worlds so bad. Well, if you ever get a chance to go to Notre Dame just to walk around and just see the buildings, that's one of those places. It was amazing. I couldn't. Yeah.
Well, how about the bookstore? The bookstore is like its own gigantic building, So you can buy a Notre Dame anything. You could probably buy a Notre Dame plane at the bookstore. I'm not kidding either, So
I love it. Josh has 4 years of eligibility, he said. So yeah, and actually, Josh, Herkimer can't be too far from you. It's never too late. You can go give it a shot.
Yeah. Get a hold of me, Josh.
Yeah. No, I mean, that is cool. That's a like a once in a lifetime experience that all these young men are going to get that not everybody has. So that's a awesome thing to do, Bob. That's so cool that you guys get to experience all that.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to put together the stuff to, let everyone know the Generals are back. I mean, we're trying to play the best competition we can, and we've got the trip. Last year we went to Baltimore, so this year we're going to the Midwest. And boy, at first I was thinking, geez, there's only one school. What are we going to do? And then Clark and Lourdes offered to play us. And
Bob froze. Oh, there we go. He's back.
Oh, I froze. Wow.
You froze for a minute.
I tell you what, I don't feel frozen. So Vinny Lang, we're going to stop there and have a practice at Shrine. We had literally had so many people offer stuff and so many people who are being good to us that we can't fit it all in. So, we'll go there every other year, I think, and we'll go to Baltimore and hit the South every other year. And that gives our kids 2 years of unique, different experiences. And, then they get to go to Lacrosse and they get to go to the Worlds, and they get to play box lacrosse at the Utica University Nexus Center. So honestly, our schedules are full and our kids are blessed. And and we have to be good at fundraising because we want to give these guys a first-class opportunity. I'll tell you what, I'm going to tell you guys something that no one even knows yet. We just got some money secured. We're getting a locker room upgrade. It's like a $25 million facelift for Herkimer College sports, and you should see the plans for the locker room. Actually, let me see. Do I have a set of them right here? I do. Let me see this.
That's amazing. He just happens to have a set of the plans.
No, I really do. I didn't plan on putting this up, but let me see if I can make it so you can see it. Let me see. Right here.
Yeah. Rochester has had a tough go.
This, right, see where my finger is? That's our locker room. Those are couches. All those other things are our lockers. And so we got 2 couches. We got both those rooms. It's got a divider in the middle. This is all going to start happening as soon as the school year is done this year. We're going to have a facility that you could hardly call a junior college. I mean, it's going to rival. And I've been to Notre Dame and Arlotta, and I've been to Syracuse. And of course, I was on the OCC staff for a while, and I've seen a lot of great locker rooms. Michigan, I used to go with John Paul, and I've been so blessed by this game. But I tell you what, we're going to have a locker room facility. I'm ordering replicas of the 9 national championship rings so that we can have a little trophy case to display the ones that we already have, you know?
Bobby, is that going to be up at the up on the turf?
It's not going to be on the turf. It's going to be where the old gym is. Every single team's getting their own locker room, or by and large, every team's getting their own locker room, and even the shared ones are going to be nice. We're going to have like a sauna room in addition to, if any of you guys have been to our training room, it's pretty good for a junior college training room. That's getting an upgrade. You know, we've got 65 national championships on our campus. So we're blessed. We're pretty competitive athletically and everything. And, you know, we're going to be able to give you an experience that, you know, and I mean, it's not like we're raising tuition to do it either. So
so it's junior college prices, but you get to experience, you know, that top level, of athletics and getting to tour around, getting to go see the college campuses. That's really a special experience. It really says a lot about the people at the college putting in that kind of effort, the alumni to help with the fundraising, and really what that program has been for years, and you know what you are trying to recreate with it. So kudos to you on you know, bringing it all back and really trying to, you know, return Herkimer to that national championship level.
Well, I tell you what, we're close, you know, and we got to beat one of the teams that's above us now. And you know, I like to say about last year, you know, we finished just outside the top six. Top 6 go to nationals, and so we're either the worst good team or the best not very good team in the country. We beat everyone below us, and we didn't beat anyone above us. So we got to take a little step, and it's not a little step. It's a big step, because all those teams that are above us are really, really good. And you know what? We've had support from you guys, and so our alumni are active now, and so many people, you know, like Rodney, and you know, the list goes on and on. But I tell you what, we're just blessed. David Brock is still playing for Halifax, and he's a Herkimer guy, and you know, we're, you know, I mean, we got some GMs, we got people all over the place. And
I was just going to say,
here's
we're
the Baldwinsville guy. Here's the Baldwinsville guy right here.
What a move. Split dodges them.
And unfortunately, that one didn't score, because that would have been a beautiful highlight for us to clip tomorrow.
The Rochester GM is a Herkimer guy, is he not?
Yeah, Dan Carey. Dan Carey is a Herkimer guy.
All right, so since we're talking GM, let's talk about what the heck happened with this trade. So did you guys know Charlie Bertrand was traded for Halifax? Or I'm sorry, not for Halifax, for Connor Fields and the goalie Hutchcraft and the pick ahead of them in the draft?
When was this?
That was what back in 2022, I think. Stamper said it to me today. We'll be talking about it tomorrow, so I won't talk too much about it tonight. I was going to look it up. But yeah, I go into the whole thing. He sent me the clip. This trade might be one of the worst trades ever, the way it's turned out. Nothing against Bertrand, but I mean, when we look at Bertrand's numbers compared to Connor Fields, it's not much of a competition. And now you see the way, they're relying on Hutchcraft. Maybe he's not who they want to be relying on, but he's a consistent goalie for them.
He's definitely serving justice, but they got to put some balls in the back of the net. The right side of Rochester is falls dormant. If they're not on, they're off, and they don't even.
They fall into the same category as Buffalo, though, where they start missing the net. I've got a bunch of clips here, and I tell you, really, there's Bertrand's goal, and you just see him. He sprints across. The 3-1-5 guy buries it. Kudos to him on that, and he's back in the lineup. But yeah, that was unbelievable to me, that trade. But how about this goal? Look at, he just one hand and like barely gets his hand on the stick to kind of flip it in there. That's insane. But Jack Canada, there's an American player. Kells looked great though.
Kells was playing very good.
And I wonder, is Kells looking great, or was Rochester just that far off because when they were missing, or is it where Kells is playing so good so it kind of gets in your head and starts to, make you second guess things? I don't know.
There's a lot of good play going all the way around. I thought from when I was watching that game, as far as Rochester, they didn't have the smoke. Vegas was all over the place when I was watching.
Well, this is
as far as Bertrand, you talk about Bertie being on the left side, he was playing offense, but then he was also back playing defense. So as far as being the switch knife, he sat at the last couple games. He came back. He's producing. So I got to believe, and I don't believe Greer played in this game. So
no, Greer played.
Did he play?
Yeah, Greer played. Not his best game, but he was out there. But no, the defense, I think you nailed it when you said the defense for them, but there's just a beautiful move. And Rochester, I think they leave Hutchcraft alone too much. You'll see the common trend here where guys are getting in, all alone. You can't, yes, these goalies are good, but it's a 50-50 at best when you get a guy all alone with the goalie.
These shooters are good too.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, you're literally playing against the best in the world. Here's another prime example. He just hits him, and Ryan Smith, how he feeds that one back over his head, I don't know. He's a big boy too, and he's going full speed and just fluffs it kind of into that top corner. Beautiful goal, Ryan Smith. And I tell you,
from the right side.
Yeah.
That's a righty. There's a righty cutting through.
Yeah. No, he's yeah, he is, because he's righty and he had to dump it over onto the other side. It's like, what are you doing? That was a crazy one. But then the third quarter, and I tell you, Rochester, they still did decent here. They were limited to 2 goals, but yeah, when we get into that fourth quarter, oh my goodness, Rochester is struggling hard. And you got to wonder, if Hartley was there, how good would they be playing right now? Or Higgins. I tell you, have you watched any of Philadelphia's games? Higgins played really good.
They had a big W this weekend, didn't they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, they had a big W. It looked good. This one, so Ryan Smith, he scored on this goal last week. Unfortunately for him, Kells just a little bit too fast. And I tell you, Landon Kells looked really good in this game.
47 saves.
Yeah.
Wow. Hutchcraft 28.
Yeah. No, Kells is coming along nicely. Hutchcraft has struggled. I mean, as you've seen, it's hard once you start getting this deep into the, into the season and you don't have your number one starter, but this is the guy that you think is going to be your future. Yeah, look at this too. He just runs him over and plows Connor Fields. Stood up. They didn't call anything on that because it's box lacrosse, so they were just like, yeah, toughen up, bud. Get out of the way next time.
That's it.
Stand your ground. Yeah, plus
you hit me. Yeah, shut up.
Plus, in the comments there, Josh, there was 2 other picks that they gave him that were lower. It was like a 4th and a 6th round pick that they gave up. That was a really lopsided trade. Vegas really did not do themselves any favors with some of their early trades, trying to get pieces that fit right now. They made themselves a little old. And, I just couldn't imagine giving up Connor Fields. right now looking at that when you watch him. Although he does force a lot of shots, but he gets himself a lot of rebounds and he can bury quite a few.
Absolutely. Well, Casey Jackson, didn't they pick him up earlier in a trade earlier on the season?
Yeah.
He's definitely helped out immensely as well. Bringing a little bit of the youth concept.
Oh yeah, no, they've definitely got some young players, and like Rouet is only been in the league I think for 3 or 4 years. He's played great, and when he's playing good up on offense, they're playing good. I think what they're usually missing is that offensive piece to help them score. Because right now with Kells playing like he is, I mean they held Rochester, a very talented offensive team, down. But when you watch it, I think the defense gets a lot of credit. And then Kells came up with that 3 or 4 big saves. Like there, he just shut down Bertrand on the doorstop again. I mean, Kells made some great saves, and Hutchcraft, unfortunately, was left alone like that a lot. I mean, it's a common trend. Like I said, you'll see untouched on the doorstep, though, time and time again. They just kind of leave them out there. They challenge this one. You could see just barely, there's like just this much green in between, and they're like, yeah, that's good. Whew, it's so close.
Goal stands.
Yeah. Goal stands, and it's not going to get any better for them, unfortunately. That was their last.
Casey Jackson.
Yeah. No, that was their last hope at stopping anything. It seemed like from Vegas. They get 3 more goals, and Rochester just missed the net. You'll see here in a minute because I showed after Hellier's goal. I think I got a couple clips of them missing, and Kells maybe making one big save. But the defense, they played very solid. They're on the hands. They're doing the little things right. So it wasn't really big defensive plays. They were just coming down, killing shot clocks, and going back and doing what they needed to do. So, Bob, you're a coach. You get into a game like this, you've got a new goalie as you're working through. How do you that's got to be one of the toughest decisions as a coach. You got a goalie that you think can be good, but he's got to get his lumps in, or do you put the other guy in because you don't want him getting slaughtered?
I guess it depends on the psychology of the guy. I mean, if he's a guy who if he gets chased, is that gonna compound things, or is he gonna feel like you don't have faith in him, or does he need the break? And I think it's different with every goaltender. I think you have to kind of get to know what works and what doesn't work with them. Some guys you hope are going to be able to just forget it, pick the ball out of the net, and go on to the next one. And then there's other guys who they'll take the break as nothing personal, just say it's not my night, and they'll jump back in and do a great job, So it depends on the situation, I think, but it's
Tough
not easy.
Yeah. No, it's
people think it's going to be easy because of how much padding you have in it, and it definitely isn't. You take a look at these things and just watch the progression of even Paul's goalies. These guys, they keep getting better and better, and there's nights though. Like Jameson was on fire this week. He was so good,
Yeah, he looked great. That was an assist from Gear, but yeah, Kells looked great here for them. But yeah, I've always wondered because some goalies like Jameson, when I interviewed him at the press conference one night, he said, my goal, I like Dylan Ward style. If you look at me, you can't tell if we're winning by 10 or losing by 10. Just even keel,
right.
Do what you're supposed to do, know how it's going. But yeah.
Dylan Ward, monster, he gets chased every once in a while too, though, but
oh yeah,
more than not, he's pretty darn good, Warren Hill, he can be the best,
He's so streaky. When he's on, man, he's on.
Oh, yeah, and he is streaky. And I don't think, they pulled him, 2 weeks ago? And then this week, that game was over fast, I think. I didn't watch the end, but they jumped on, who did they play, Saskatchewan?
Yeah, they destroyed Sass. It
was over early.
I started watching that game. I put it on while I was folding laundry, and I was like, oh my goodness, this is just a slaughtering. I tell you, Shigliano for Sass, he did not have a good night. It was not to blame it all on him. His defense did a lot of that, leaving him alone. And Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Saskatchewan has been struggling this year, and it really doesn't look like it's getting any better. Their goaltending's not playing great. Their offense isn't keeping possession of the ball long enough. But I tell you, I'm becoming a big Landon Kells fan. They stuck with him at the beginning, and me and Paul watched a lot of these games at the beginning, and we talked about it. It was like, man, how are you sticking with this kid? But they did, and they put Watson in every once in a while. But for the most part, they really stuck with Kells. And now I think you're starting to see, letting him see all the repetitions, letting him learn, hey, some nights you're not going to have your
Yeah,
night. It
yeah,
is what it is.
exactly.
That's why I say it. You really wonder, and you kind of see with Kells where it paid off, and then Hutchcraft, he's been just getting shelled on some of these nights. And yeah, as we saw at the end of the game there, I mean, we were kind of talking, BSing around a little bit, so we didn't catch it all. But yeah, Rochester missed the net twice. Then they shot it into one of the defensemen, and then Kells came up with one decent save. But for the most part, it really was Rochester missing the net. And Buffalo suffered from the same thing. And it's easy to sit here where we're sitting and say, man, just hit the net, guys. I mean, how hard is it? But that I think was the difference with both games is the defense got just enough into them and into their heads and was under the sticks enough that they were kind of able to disrupt things. And you see where those little things make big differences at the end.
It's always easier sitting where we sit. No question about that.
I enjoy where I sit. That's for sure. I can be loud, and if I want to say something, I can say something. You want to why? Because I can.
Yeah. No,
sometimes I shouldn't, but sometimes I just got to let it go.
It happens. I mean, it definitely happens to the best of us. So we've been doing this for an hour, but we got to cover what's going on next week, and then we're going to cover some Yeti news. Then we got to get into a little bit of Herkimer news. But before we get into all that, let me pull up my handy dandy website here. So we've got Georgia and Halifax. Georgia's been looking pretty good. Halifax was on a bit of a roll. That's we'll look at the standings after, but that game could have major implications. When we look at the standings, you'll see why. San Diego, they've been looking great. I would expect them to roll over Panther City. Have either of you guys watched a lot of the Panther City games? Or
I've been watching, no.
I've seen a couple. Damoud has his moments. He can be really good. He's a goalie.
You know what I watch when I'm looking at when there's multiple games on, I'm always watching to see what the barns look like, what the attendance is and that kind of thing. So this Panther City, there's a lot of
empty seats.
A lot of things. Yeah, there's some stuff they got to do. Boy, the Seals look great though.
Seals are looking good. I think this game for Vegas and Toronto is going to be huge. So Toronto is in large part tied with the Firewolves right now. I don't think because of their offense, it's because of Nick Rose. Like, you look at the scores of their game, and they're winning games with less than 10 goals. I mean, that's crazy in the NLL. You always say if you can hold the defense to, under 10, you're going to win. Well, when your offense only scores 10 or 9 and you still win, that's pretty impressive.
Rose has been red hot this year, no question.
Yeah, it's he's definitely, I think, the top contender for goalie of the year. And then Buffalo, I would like to imagine that Buffalo has got to beat Vancouver if they would like to, start turning their season around.
It's not a gimme though, not remotely. But if I'm Vancouver, I like Buffalo after a win. You know what I mean? I don't need them all urgent.
Yeah, coming in right now, all upset because they just got beat up in their barn by a bunch of guys that they thought they could bully around. But yeah, no. So when you look through the standings here, you see Georgia right there with 6. Halifax has got 7. If they want to keep that momentum up, you're starting to see a little gap here, though. I think where now you're going to start to see teams starting to fall away. So you got your top 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Calgary right now is holding on to it. I expect New York to make the playoffs. So Bob, I got to ask you, as we're looking at this, New York, Las Vegas, Saskatchewan, Colorado, Philadelphia, Rochester, and Vancouver are not in a playoff position right now. Which one of those teams do you say is going to make the playoffs?
Boy, it's hard. I think just looking at the rosters, I'm really impressed with the Riptide. But they're going to Ottawa. That's that factor right there. Knowing that you're not going to be back next year, no matter what. If you're going to stay on that franchise, you're going to be going to Ottawa. That's that's a factor. It's somehow a factor, I think.
It's
And
going to be interesting to see what the atmosphere is like in the barn as they finish out the season. I saw in a lot of their threads, they were like, oh, yeah, now that we're finally starting to get good, we're going to get out of here. It's like, yeah, well, you guys could have supported the team all the time and packed the stands, and then they'd probably still be there. But
the history of box lacrosse in metropolitan New York is just it's frustrating almost.
there's too much other stuff going on is the problem.
Yeah, I mean, it's Long Island though. I mean, they love lacrosse, but I think they're really, like most of us in the States, we grow up with field and we're not used to the box. I think box is bigger than it's ever been. Clearly, take a look at what's going on in some of these cities, and for San Diego and Colorado and
Calgary, they do. Yeah, Vancouver, even though they aren't having the best season, their attendance numbers have been through the roof. The fans are supporting them. They like the atmosphere they're playing. Molosky's up there now. It has been huge. So you're saying New York. Paul, when you look through this, who you going with that's making it out of the bottom?
I'm saying it's Vegas.
All right. Bold statement there, I think. But
I'm going. Well, not for nothing. You was just talking up Kells, and you want to know what?
I say it all the time. A hot goalie wins.
Sometimes that happens, and you bench a couple people, you give them their attitude adjustment. Not to say that there was any kind of attitude, but you want to know what? You want to play. We need more. I watched Birdie play, and some of the stuff he was doing was some of the stuff that I know I seen at the Team USA games, and you start getting the right pairing. You're at that point in time this part of the year where the pairings are starting to make a big effect, and I think the defense is playing strong enough to with the goalie to keep them in a game. You keep the Greer, you keep Hannah, you keep Jackson, you get Birdie some more feeds. There's a lot of potential there.
Yeah, no, there definitely is. Josh brings up a good point, though, with the PLL isn't even going to Long Island this year. They are big in field, but they do not seem to come out to view it. And I wonder, I'm telling you, I think there's just too much stuff going on in the city. Everybody's like, the people that are playing all the time are probably like, we're exhausted of it. Mom and dad are like, yeah, I've brought you to enough lacrosse games. We're going to take the night off.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff going on in Toronto, and
but at Toronto, their kids play box lacrosse from the time they're 3 years old.
San Diego, a lot of stuff there. Colorado,
Again, though, there's like little hidden box meccas though that have had these men's league teams and stuff built up. So yeah, you never know. It is interesting. All right, so now I'm going to pick a tougher question. Look up at that top 8 and tell me which team is not going to make it. I like Josh. Is Buffalo not going to make the top 8? Because if without Matt Vince, so we'll say if Matt Vince doesn't come back, who's willing to pick Buffalo?
No.
Paul's like, I can't look at myself in the mirror if I pick it, but honestly, I think when I look at that number, I think if this game this weekend, if Panther City's able to beat Buffalo, they hold that spot. I'll give it to Panther City. I'm going to put it like that. And if Buffalo wins this week, well, then Buffalo deserves to be there and they'll stay on top. But they're tied with 5 wins. And then if Georgia's able to win, they'll have 7. It'll bump them right out. It'll be plus they'll have the overtime. Yeah, Josh says Buffalo as well for the team that's not going to make it. All right, so if you're not picking Buffalo, Paul, who are you picking?
That's not going to make it in the top 8.
Yeah, so you look at the top 8 right now, and who's not making it?
Probably Panther City, just because you want to know you got to have a fan base. And can you tell me that the NLL is going to want to take a fan base for a home game into Panther City?
So you think they're going to pay the refs off and tell them to fix it?
Yeah,
we ain't going to Panther City.
No, but I'm just saying in regards to when it comes down to crunch time, your fan base definitely makes a difference at home games. It didn't help the Buffalo this past weekend, but I don't know. I haven't watched them enough to really give them. I've watched the Swarm some. I like the Swarm. I obviously the Halifax, those the 6-6, 6-5. Panther City. And like you said, it makes a difference what happens this weekend. Obviously, that's a clear, decisive answer.
Yeah, we'll find out. What about you, Bobo?
I'm honestly, I was along the same lines as Neck all the way around. Like, Panther City, the talent's clearly there, but I mean, I'm not betting against Lyle Thompson. Period. That's definitely not. I have not betting against Jammer. I'm not betting against Audie. I'm not betting against Schreiber. Albany seems to be rolling pretty good. I think that's a lock. With the Bandits, how can the Bandits not make it? That is the barn, and they got to find a way to get it done. And Panther City, they have to find a way to get it done in a barn that's there's not a lot of people in it. So I think that's harder. And but you're right, that Panther City, that's a big game coming up for them. And if they win it, wow. Could it be Buffalo? Could Buffalo be the team we're talking about not making it?
After winning? After taking the championship last year and then not making the playoffs this year, that would be whoo-hoo.
I tell you what, the Riptide are. I think the Riptide have the most, maybe the largest potential on that bottom part, and so, oh boy, I don't know.
It's tough. I know. I like he said he's got his world championship banner up, but Paul, that says 2023.
That's it. That's last year. Last year's over, right?
That's right. No holding on to hope. Everybody's trying to move on and build and grow. But all right, boys, we've been doing this for an hour and 10 minutes now. We're going to kick it off to the sponsors. But before we go, Paul, tell us what's happening this week for the Yeti.
Yeah, well, as far as Wednesday night, Bobby, we'll try and swing over and watch a little bit of the scrimmage, but we'll be over at the Nexus Center playing some pickup box lacrosse at 8:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10 o'clock. It all depends on how many guys we get. We've had great numbers. Goalies have already committed. We got plenty of goalies. As far as coming up on March 10th, we start the quest. The quest is to find the next Yeti team to take into 2024, which is honestly, it's more than just the NABLL season. There's a lot of stuff transpiring right now. We got a lot of
eyeballs on Utica this summer. A lot of eyeballs
there's
on
a
Utica.
lot of things going on right now that I'm like Bob has said. We are blessed to where we are. I'm hoping that we can continue to put a product that is more than competitive to some people and search for what we want, and that is a championship. Everybody wants a championship, and it takes a lot of hard work to get it there. We're starting it up early and making sure that we get an opportunity to get a team put together.
Definitely. And Herkimer, we know you've got scrimmages and stuff coming up. So what is the biggest challenge at a 2-year school? Is it constantly filling the talent, or is it trying to get the cohesion with the offensive unit?
Well, I think there's a lot of moving parts on that, but I mean, if there's a harder job in the lacrosse world than being a junior college guy, honestly speaking, I mean, you're like a high school coach. You got to get your players placed, right? And you lose half your roster every year. So, that's before we get into the great part. And some guys, struggle with that. So you constantly got to be trying to be aware of making sure they get the help they need from an academic standpoint, because that leads to them having a good return on investment as they advance to a 4-year school. And at the same time, you're losing half your roster every year. So you got to develop the other part. So you got to be a recruiter like a college, like a 4-year college. And you also have to be like a high school coach. You have to develop the talent for the 4-year college. So there's a lot to it. There really is, but it's so rewarding. And, we've had so many, I mean, our alumni, it's so great. I hear the rumor that there may be more Herkimer alumni. Maybe keep your eyes open. Maybe you should keep your eyes open, because I know Paul's been in touch with at least one guy on, let's say, a Sunday, and
Oh, I watched it last night, and I was
the
like,
guy with the
dude.
sun kind of a thing.
Yeah, no, I was,
pretty good box player.
yeah, oh my. Yeah, there was when we was doing good taking on the young ladies. We had 2 young ladies from Whitesboro. As far as we'll leave it at that. But we do have a women's program that's going with Tri-City. That is still going on. There's a lot of things going on. It's a matter of not enough time in the world, man. Where everybody's got something going on, and sometimes the clock runs out like our Yeti talks like tonight. It flies by. It flies by. You're on mute, Beach. Can't hear you.
I muted myself completely. Bob, what is that fundraising site that you guys use? I want to make sure I get it in the description.
We use Blast.
Blast. And the best way for anybody to find Blast is to probably go to one of your social media pages, or?
Oh boy, yeah. It's Blast Fundraising is what we use, and our social media pages, and yeah, we have a site, Blast fundraising.com, I think, and you find the Herkimer part, and but we've had a lot of generous donations that way. You can also directly the Herkimer Foundation is, that's a direct line right to the school, so we like that one too. And that's definitely on our social media. You can see that too.
Yeah, here's the Blast one. I did not have time to get the other one, but I put the Blast one right in the website.
Doesn't it look great? It's a fantastic site. It's got tons of stuff about us, and you get weekly updates, and it's enabled us to take our fundraising to the next level.
Yeah, and it's very nice as far as it's got the schedule listed and everything, so everybody knows and they can follow you. Great setup, and as usual, I keep clicking on that one. I want to pretend that there's only 2 of us for some reason here. But thanks everybody so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Owen and Josh, we would love all the comments in the chats. We had Leota in there too. Thanks, Leota. It was awesome talking to you for a minute. Not sure if you're still out there or not, but
hello, boys. Owen. Leota, yeah. All right, that's good stuff.
There's
man.
the OJ, the dude.
Little shout out to Owen right there. Yes, also, but to Chalk Less. We got a possible sponsor that's out there, and the name of the sponsor is Chalk Less. Take a look into it, and you want to know what? It gives you great gription.
Gives you great gription. All right, I love it. We're on that note. We're down, everybody. If you want the extra gription, go to Chalk Less. Have a good night.
Chalk Less.
Hello, Yeti Nation. Get down to the Bag Square Brewing Company, downtown Utica. Fay Farms. Where's the beef at? Contact Jimmy Fay. Family Landscaping. Make your neighbors green with envy. Contact Russ. The Black River Ale House. Where the Romans go. Dura Products. Who's got the pipe? Jimmy Fay's got the pipe. Contact Jimmy Fay for irrigation, drainage, pool, and spa. You building a new house? Contact Jimmy Fay. He's got your stuff. The B-Dry system. Your basement's wet? Get a hold of B-Dry. Believe in 271. Nobody fights alone. Eric Kiefer, LUTCF. Your local representative. George Kaler, Sales and Service. Liberty Affordable Housing. Rome Sign and Display Company. Nice Scoba. The men and women in blue, thank you for what you do. Robert Dix Insurance Agency. Contact Bobby Dix. Tri-City Lacrosse. 40 years of summer fun. Master Vito, Hyundai. Contact the sales force. CRM Rental Management. The Clinton Tractor and Implement Company. Contact the Caledona family. Hello.